Hey everyone, it's Mr. Canfield. Um, Algebra 1, 4-2 assignment. If you don't have paper or you don't have a way to jot stuff down, we're solving equations today. You need to write stuff down. So pause the video, get stuff that you need to write stuff down. You need it. It's not enough just to kind of click through stuff today. Okay, so hopefully you followed my advice. Remember, our tests and quizzes and stuff have been open notes this year, so do it. All right, here we go. So last time you may remember that we were looking at two lines and we were finding out where they intersected. We're doing the same thing today, but it's not as easy because now they're not both readily graphable. So like this, if you look at this first one that I have here, it says solve the system of equations by the substitution. So we'll get into what that means in a minute, but I have y equals 2x plus 1. I can graph that pretty easily. You know, my y-intercept is 1, so I go up to 1, put a dot, and then go up 2 and over 1. Like, you know, we could graph that line. But then this one, it's not readily solved. It's not already set up. So we're going to have to figure something else out. One way to do it is to get y by itself here. So like you could add the 3x to both sides and then divide by 3. It's definitely solvable like that. But we're going to use a method called substitution. If you remember at the end of the lesson last time, we got a decimal answer. So substitution is a great way to know exactly what decimal the answer is. And I didn't do a great job checking before uh, beginning recording, but hopefully in this lesson we don't have a crazy amount of decimals, but that's what our calculators are for if we need them. Okay, so here's how substitution works. Here's the special trick. We're going to take advantage of this idea of equals, of equality. Right here it says y is equal to 2x plus 1. That means these two things are the same thing. And this little bracket here, this is trying to say that these two, when are these two the same? So the only time these two are the same are when both sets of equations are true. So since that's the case, what we can do is I can take this 3y minus 3x equals 9, and we can literally go in and instead of writing y, we can write this 2x plus 1. So I'm going to put a parentheses where the y used to be. Nothing else changes. And what are we going to write here? We're going to write 2x plus 1. This is the key that unlocks problems like this. I'm able to replace that letter in the other equation, and this has to be a true statement now. So what I'm going to do now is, well, I've got a 3 out front of parentheses. I'm going to solve this equation for x. So I'm going to walk through those steps. Feel free, if you think you know how to solve this equation, try it on your own. Don't wait for me to do it. Pause the video, try it, see what you get. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine now. So the first thing I do is I distribute this 3 of the parentheses. So 3 times 2x gives me 6x. Then 3 times the plus 1 gives me plus 3. And then everything else just stays the same, right? So now I can combine like terms on my left side. So I have a 6x, a plus 3, and a minus 3x. So the 6x and the minus 3 I can combine. So 6 minus 3 is 3x. Plus 3 is still there, so I bring it down, and then equals 9 is still there, so I bring it down. Then we'll subtract both sides by 3. I get 3x is equal to 6. And then we'll divide both sides by that coefficient that's in front of the x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So, all right, one big difference to problems we've done in the past. x is equal to 2. This is not the answer. This is part of the answer. If I go in and I say the solution is 2, it's going to tell me that I'm wrong, because I need an ordered pair for my solution. Remember, we need an x comma y for my solution. So I need 2 comma, oh wait, I don't know what goes there. So what we have to do, is we actually have to go back, and now that we know x is 2, we pick one of these two equations and plug in 2 for x, and that's how we find out what y is. So when x is 2, what's y? So in general, it's easiest to go to the equation that we used to substitute, so like the one where y is by itself. Like y is already solved here, it's easier. This one, if I plug the 2 in, I have some work to do before I know what y is. So what I'll do is change colors for fun. So I know y is equal to 2x plus 1. So now I can say y is equal to 2, plug in the 2 plus 1. And you can use your calculator for all this arithmetic, right? So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So now I know y is 5. So x is 2, y is 5. So that lets me write my final answer as x comma y, 2 comma 5. That is the short version of everything you need to understand today. The only other thing can be if there's an infinite set of solutions or no solutions. You might be able to figure it out on your own though. So I will go into that in the other video, and I will go through and do more examples. I'll do a couple more examples out of my problems, but there's a lot of similarity between these problems. I don't think you need me to do every single one. So I'm trying something new with this. If it turns out, no, Mr. Canfield, it really does help when you do every single problem, well then let me know, and I won't do this again, and I'll go back and I'll do every problem. Seriously. I want to make this class work for you. I work for you. You know, I get paid to help you. That's exactly what I do. So it's not a waste of my time to help you. Yeah. All right. So I'll be back in part 2 to talk through the other little bit that you might need.